the Prime Minister the other day described the present war as a conflict between spiritual and anti-spiritual forces. He was unconsciously echoing what Dr. Kolisko had explained a few years before. He was in no doubt of what lay behind Hitler and his party, and forecast with uncanny accuracy every step made by Germany, based not only upon a clear insight into the characters of the leaders of their age, but also upon his interpretation of historical cycles. Men wiser and more learned than I have discerned in history a plot, a predetermined pattern. These harmonies are concealed from me. I can see only one emergency following upon another as wave follows upon wave. H.A.L. Fisher's own historical insight was of no mean order, and few historians, we either wiser or more learned than he. In 109,036, Dr. Kolisko came to live in England, and in 109,027 founded the Rudolf Steiner Institute, of which he remained the principal until his death. It was at this institute that he delivered some of his most interesting lectures on science and other subjects, each of which he illuminated by the introduction of new or hitherto little known detail. It would be quite true to say that in his treatment of them he imbued his subject with fresh significance and gave them new direction, whilst always retaining what had been proved to be scientifically sound. He was an indefatigable researcher and a born teacher. Even his method of teaching owed its originality and efficacy to the correspondences he discovered between physical and mental development on the one hand, and physiological experience on the other, the result being that his pupils always retained what they had learned, so that it became for them an indispensable part of the whole mental and spiritual life. Hitherto, the theory of reincarnation has been confined as a tenet of faith or of experience to the Orient. In the West, until the advent of Rudolf Steiner, It received attention only from the followers of Blavatsky. With Madame Blavatsky had plenty to say about the acutely materialistic science of the last century. She never, so far as I know, offered any scientific basis for the question of reincarnation, being apparently content to offer it as the only reasonable explanation of the mystery of life. Steiner was by far the most scientific and objective of all so-called occultists scattered throughout his writings. There are references as to the probable identity of famous historical figures in previous incarnations, with no more than an indication to give the general reader. It is one of the virtues of handful of Dr. Steiner's most personal pupils that following the great occultists that they were not content to stagnate within the framework of the society which he founded, but acting on the basic indication given by him, pursued their researches generally along objective, experimental lines, particularly so in the Department of Agriculture and Medicine. In the former, the work of Mr. Kolisko, wife of Dr. Eugen Kolisko, embodied principally in her book Mom and Plant Growth, is the result of many years of practical experiment and has caused great interest and comment in agricultural circles all over the world. In the case of Dr. Kolisko, he did not confine himself to one particular line of research, as the following page will show. In fairness both to the author and to Dr. Rudolf Steiner, it should here be pointed out that the opinion expressed and conclusions drawn should not be attributed to the latter or be considered an integral part of the body of teaching known as anthroposophy. Dr. Eugen Kolisko's work is entirely, in every sense, an extension of the work of Rudolf Steiner, but it is for the individual reader to decide whether it follows inevitably on the basis of anthroposophy. The author has been careful to acknowledge Dr. Steiner where acknowledgement is called for, and because of his, the reader may assume too readily that this book is wholly anthroposophical.